Today I'm traveling north from Kuala Lumpur to Butterworth on the ETS, before continuing on to Penang Island by ferry. This is ETS 9104, departing at 11:45 in the morning and scheduled to arrive just after 3. If this is your first time taking the ETS as a solo traveler, especially as a woman, I'll walk you through exactly how this journey works, from boarding in Kuala Lumpur to stepping off the ferry in Georgetown. One thing that often confuses people is that Kuala Lumpur has 2 railway stations. There's KL Sentral, and then there's this one, Kuala Lumpur Railway Station, the old station near Chinatown. ETS trains heading north allow boarding at both stations. Since my hotel is in Chinatown, this station is the more convenient choice for me. If you're arriving by Grab or taxi, the drop-off point is along Jalan Sultan Hishamuddin, just outside the station. From there, it's only a short walk into the concourse. Inside, look for the KTMETS signs that guide you to the QR code scanning gates. At the time of this journey, entry was through Gate B. One important thing to note here, the electronic signboards inside the station weren't working on my travel day. Several ETS trains can arrive close together, especially in the morning, so it's important to double-check your train number against what's written on your ticket. If you're unsure, ask the station staff. They're friendly, calm, and speak excellent English. Boarding usually happens at platform 1, and the stop here is brief, just 2 to 3 minutes. So once the train is announced, it's best to move quickly to the platform and be ready. There's no business class lounge here like there is at KL Sentral, but honestly, that's not much of a loss. This station is over a century old, designed by Arthur Benison Herbeck, and it's one of the most beautiful railway buildings in the country. White arches, onion domes, and airy walkways give it a calm, almost ceremonial feel. If you need the toilet before boarding, there are clean facilities inside the station. Just remember to bring your own toilet paper. Once on board, business class immediately feels more spacious. The seating layout is 1 seat on one side, 2 on the other, which gives you more personal space compared to standard class. Seats are wide, well padded, and they recline comfortably. They can also be rotated so you're always facing the direction of travel. There's generous legroom here. I could place my day pack beside me on the floor and still stretch out fully, even when the seat in front was reclined. Each seat has a fold-out table and a built-in screen tucked into the armrest. In theory, you can watch online content, but in practice, the Wi-Fi is patchy and drops out frequently. Personally, I didn't mind at all. Watching the Malaysian countryside slide past the window turned out to be far better entertainment. PowerPoints are available at every seat. In my experience, the 3-pin plug works more reliably than the USB ports, so I usually bring my own adapter and cable. There are also small but thoughtful details, coat hooks, reading lights, and window blinds, all of which make the space feel practical and comfortable. Luggage storage is straightforward. Smaller bags fit under the seat, while backpacks and carry-on suitcases can go overhead. There are also luggage racks near the toilets at the end of the carriage. Each coach has one toilet located at the end with indicator lights showing whether it's occupied. These are proper Western-style toilets, spacious with running water, soap, and paper towels. They are well ventilated, which keeps things fresh, though it does mean the noise level can be a bit startling. One of the perks of business class is that meals and drinks are included. Not long after departure, a trolley comes down the aisle with lunch. On this journey, it was nasi mabruk with sweet soy chicken and a mild vegetable curry, served warm. We were also given a bottled water and a small snack box. The rice was fragrant and fluffy, the chicken tender and sweet savory, and the curry gentle and comforting. It's filling without being heavy, easy to eat at your seat and well suited to train travel. Later in the journey, a round apple, tea or coffee, and a muffin are served. The food is similar in quality to a budget airline meal, maybe a touch fresher, but I wouldn't recommend upgrading to business class just for the food. What it does offer though is ease. You don't need to queue, juggle trays, or think about timing. You sit down, the food comes to you, and you can stay relaxed. If you want more, you can always walk to the bistro in Coach C. Standard class is perfectly fine too. Seats are arranged 2 by 2, slightly narrower but still comfortable. Some seats face backwards, though you can choose your direction when booking online. The tables are well designed, without legs blocking your movement, and the seat padding here is noticeably thicker than on older ETS services. Food for standard class passengers is available in the bistro, but seating there is limited, and half the carriage is regular seating. So booking coach C isn't ideal unless you enjoy food smells for the whole ride. One of the joys of this journey is the scenery. Leaving Kuala Lumpur, the city slowly gives way to greener outskirts. Further north, you pass rubber estates, oil palm plantations, rivers, villages, and limestone hills near Ipoh. The highlight for many passengers is the Bukit Merah Lake Railway Bridge, a long crossing over a freshwater lake where the train appears to float on water. It's one of those moments where you instinctively stop scrolling, put the phone down, and just watch. As the train approaches Butterworth, I recommend moving toward the front if you're in business class. The exit is located there, and bottlenecks form quickly at the stairs and lift. If you're traveling with heavy luggage, taking a Grab directly to Georgetown, around 40 to 50 ringgit, is the simplest option. If you're traveling light, the ferry is cheap, scenic, and easy. After exiting the ticket barriers at Butterworth Station, turn left and follow the signs to the ferry terminal. If the train is on time and you walk briskly, you can usually catch the next scheduled ferry. Our train was delayed, so we boarded the one half an hour later. The ferry ride takes about 15 minutes and costs just 2 ringgit. It's a short but lovely crossing, with open views across the strait. At the Georgetown Ferry Terminal, there's a clearly marked rideshare pickup area. My ride into the city centre cost 9 ringgit. From start to finish, this is a manageable journey that works very well for solo travelers. Whether you choose standard or business class comes down to comfort and budget, not safety or necessity. The ETS does what a good train should. It carries you north smoothly, gives you space to breathe, and lets the country unfold quietly outside your window. And sometimes, that's all a good journey really needs.